"You're so kind," the woman said, wrapping the shawl around her. Her dark eyes stared hard into mine. "So kind. Most young people aren't kind like you." "Thank you," I replied awkwardly. The cold made me shiver again. "Well, goodbye." I started to climb onto my bike. "No, wait," she pleaded. "I want to repay you." "Huh?" I uttered. "No, really. You don't have to." "I want to repay you," the woman insisted. She grabbed my wrist again, and again I felt a shock of cold. "You've been so kind," the woman repeated. So kind to a total stranger. I tried to free my wrist, but her grip was surprisingly tight. "You don't have to thank me," I said. "I want to repay you," she replied, bringing her face close to mine, still holding onto my wrist. "Tell you what, I'll grant you 3 wishes." She's crazy, I realized.
You can't scare me, not with the basement of botany. Maybe a sentient dummy calling all creeps. Boo dudes!
We're back!
Welcome to Calling All Creeps. What's up, you cute little Steinheads?
Hey.
I'm Matt, here with my co-host, co-master of ceremonies, Dave.
What's going on, Scott Steiners?
Yeah, Scott Steiners. Today's WrestleMania.
Today is WrestleMania. We're recording about a mile away, less than a mile away from WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
I live very nearby. Yeah.
There's traffic on the way to your apartment, Dave.
I thought about that.
But it actually, I don't know if it was because of WrestleMania, because it was going, there was like an exit for local specifics, but there's an exit for 80 and a cop just like totally blocked it off. So you just like couldn't, I don't know if that's event related.
Route 3 probably was.
Yeah.
Route 3 leads you right up to the Meadowlands, for the people who know, and that's where Giant Stadium, MetLife Stadium is, and Continental was, and there's been wrestling events all week in this area.
Really?
I work in Jersey City. There's a place called White Eagle Hall. Have you ever been to a show there?
No, but I get a lot of emails about it.
They set up a ring there, and different, I don't know what you call them, wrestling clubs?
Yeah.
Wrestle squads have been showing up. I actually went to the PAL and saw Billy Gunn.
That's right.
AKA Mr. Ass.
That blew my mind. He's old.
And Sunny Rose, I think.
Okay.
Their name was.
Mm-hmm.
A trans wrestler.
Okay.
Who was going into Goldust's little brother's wrestling. By the way, I don't know anything about wrestling.
I don't either at this
point.
Good
friend of the pod, Kevin Biggie.
Shout out Kevin.
Yeah, he was just like a while ago. He's like, "You want to see wrestling?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah."
I mean, that's cool. A local-ish show like that has some charm. I mean, it's sort of sad because did you watch the John Oliver thing about WWE? All that is sad and true, but it's still fun to be a part of it.
Well, especially when it's that small. It's all based off passion. People aren't really making money. If you want to see a really good documentary, watch Beyond the Mat.
Yeah.
Very good.
I haven't watched it.
I don't watch wrestling really, but I watch a lot of wrestling documentaries.
I saw a news story that A&E is partnering with different like super celebrity wrestlers to make documentaries about them, and one of them is Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Can't wait.
I'm very curious about that.
Can't wait.
My favorite fictional character maybe of all time.
We should get him on our podcast. He does podcasts.
He does do podcasts. I don't know if we can get an angry millionaire on our podcast.
I feel like if you survive past 45 and you're a wrestler, you haven't died, you're either like living out of a van or you have a very popular podcast.
Yeah, well, he does, right?
He does.
He's also
The Rock is basically...
Well, yeah.
You have to think about it. The Rock is probably the biggest male celebrity right now. Like, he's beyond...
Yeah, he's the biggest movie star I could think of. I mean, there are other like actors,
but who? But you have to think like movie star. Like in the 90s,
he's like an action hero.
Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like they were bigger.
He's the new one of those guys.
Larger than life, does everything.
Yeah.
Super positive. Yeah. Drops F-bombs on his Instagram.
He does.
When he's like yelling at little league teams to do better. Like he just inspires people and he's great.
I was talking to my friend about this yesterday, how he's smartly, also, I mean, it depends on your take. This could either be irresponsible because he obviously has a huge platform, or it's smart on his part. He doesn't really talk about politics at all.
Yeah.
But once in a while, like he had a video a couple weeks ago that was like, he's doing like the Hobbs and Shaw promotion and all this super big action stuff. And then he's like, I partnered with whatever channel to do a documentary about prison reform and abuses in the prison system. So I'm like, is he like very progressive and like I can like him even more? Like, I don't know.
I think so.
But
he does a lot for women. He has a daughter. He just wants people to grow up strong, no matter who you are. So
he's very inspirational. I want his headphones. Have you seen his like over ear headphones? He has these. I mean, they're really like Beats, but they're like water resistant, and they just like look cool. I don't know. They're good. They're like good for the gym, but they're like $250.
That's crazy. So these headphones made by The Rock are arguably the best way to listen to a podcast ever.
Indeed.
So we just want you to all go to underarmour.com.
$249.99.
$249.99.
Promo code calling all creeps.
Just keep sending them emails saying that we sent you there, and hopefully they'll give them to us.
Yeah, or at least a coupon would be nice.
Yeah, 5% off.
Anything I'll take.
Free shipping.
Yeah, give me like a expired retail me not code.
So this is Rockcast. Welcome to our wrestling podcast.
You jabronis.
Yeah. Well, we haven't really done
this one-on-one setup. It's been a minute.
It's been a minute. Also, just doing Goosebumps books.
Yeah,
because we recorded a whole bunch real quick so that we were ready for ZapCon. Thanks to everybody who showed up.
Yeah, thanks for coming to our first live podcast. It's unbelievable that you sat there and watched us do that.
Yeah, especially we realized choose your own adventures. Probably not the best format.
People aren't into when you read to them.
Yeah. Especially like there's no ongoing plot in that.
Right. It's
like,
hard to keep track.
At one point, Frankenstein was there for no reason.
Right. He just showed up. I mean, that was fun, but it was also confusing.
Yeah. Because then the next page, you're like, do you just leave Frankenstein? You're like, yeah. And you're like, all right, he's gone.
Okay. Next.
Like, well, that was weird.
Yeah.
It was the same thing of like seeing somebody who looks like somebody you knew from high school, but then you realize it wasn't.
Right. And you've already awkwardly waved to them.
Yeah, but there's like 4 pages of that.
Yeah.
So not good.
No, but everybody was really nice. I think it turned out well.
It did. It was fun. I had a blast.
Yeah, it was a good time. But so we did a live show. Before that, we had our friend Ed on, and we did an April Fool's episode. I mean, a real episode.
A real episode of Bailey School Dropouts.
And then before that, we did Goosebumps. But that was a while ago, and we had a guest. Time. So now we're back. We're both in the same room, just the two of us, a couple of buddies.
Roots.
Yep, just talking Stein.
With a whole new appreciation for Stein.
My God. Bailey School kids. I'm sorry, Debbie Daddy.
Daddy and Thornton Jones.
I don't know how you stumbled on what you're doing, but it's not working.
As you tell them this, what is it now? It was like 1990.
Yeah.
You tell them this almost 20 years later.
Right. They're probably in the grave by now.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Debbie Daddy.
Yeah.
More like Debbie Daddy. So I don't know. That's it. What else is new?
That's it. We got a fun book. This is one that I'd never read just because it doesn't really appeal to the young boy who likes scary things.
Yeah. There's a crystal ball and a young lady on the cover. It's Be Careful What You Wish For. It's book number 12. I didn't really remember it either, but the ending stuck out in my head for some reason. I felt like it messed me up a little bit as a kid. I was like, no, I don't want that fate.
I don't know if there's there's probably an episode of it, like a TV episode.
Maybe, yeah.
I wanted to visit that just because like it fits for TV, but also I feel like we're just going through any sort of genie trope, any sort of like the monkey's paw. Like there's so many. You can't really even track it in pop culture because everybody's done it.
Yes, it's well-trod territory. There's a better execution. If there is an episode, there's an Are You Afraid of the Dark episode with like a paw or a claw or something. It was like Tale of the Twisted Claw or some shit like that.
Which is like the monkey's paw.
Yeah, and it was like I remember the girl wants to like see her grandpa again or something who died, and she's like in her house, and then like there's a knock at the door, and it's like a slow foreboding knock, and it's like in my head it's also like storming outside. It's like it's a scary moment.
Which is
there's like a zombie at your door.
Yeah.
And then
very Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah. And then she undoes it and she opens the door and nothing's there. It's also like what happened in Buffy. They brought Buffy's mom back to life. But then, there's a slow knock at the door and they open the door after they break the spell and she's not there. But she was, and she was all fucked up and wanted brains.
I was just Googling to make sure that Thinner, the Stephen King movie, because the book was out and it said, what was it? I already forgot, 84, 86.
Okay.
I see a lot of that in this too. 1984.
Yeah.
Thinner.
Right. That was like the guy hit some kid and then like the father was like
a Native American shaman.
Right. And like placed a hand on that guy's head and was like,
I curse you.
Yeah.
Thinner.
Dick fall off.
See, that's just right to the point.
Yeah. Shrink dick.
Another thing about this book is that did we even figure out? Can we say? We can't. We can't say it.
I mean, we can, but I googled it. We shouldn't.
We shouldn't say it.
It's also like I'm sure people will be disappointed in me because I had to Google whether or not it's okay.
But it's a weird one because I don't think they ever said it in this book.
Yeah, we're talking about the word gypsy. It's fine. Here's the problem too: is it's not like just us, because people use it interchangeably for like free spirit too.
Yes,
like Gypsy Warrior, and just like a franchise, right?
Well, not anymore.
Oh, right. Yeah, they went out of business. Well, so there you go. So taken care of. Yeah. But people still use it.
Well, I go to what is it, Honky Soldier, to get all of my Cool Whip clothes.
Yeah.
They just resell Misfits shirts.
That's cool.
To teens.
I go to Ugly Virgin.
Well, we are recording at my house today.
Yeah, but and I was reading a little bit about it, and it's like all these people. It's rooted in racism. It's like people from Romania who were persecuted, and they were referred to as gypsies. And like a bunch of them, Nazis killed like over 200,000 of them in World War II.
Those Nazis were killing everybody. I fucking hate those
They
guys.
were, yes, that's true. It was I was going to say it's indiscriminate, but it's not.
Well, it's still going on too. I mean,
Nazis?
The Roma.
Yes.
Well, no, yeah, local. There's probably a bunch here. I mean, WrestleMania's in town. Roma. They call them Roma. They're like people without a home, and they still go through.
They won the Academy Award, right?
Yeah. So we will not say the G word.
No, from here on out. And it's not really applicable here. It's like, I don't know. The lady's not...
Is it weird that word, they call the lady a crystal woman?
Yeah.
Which for some reason feels more racially charged or something.
It
like,
feels...
damn crystal ladies.
Yeah. It feels like she has a shop in like New Hope, Pennsylvania.
Oh, definitely.
And she's like selling crystals out of the back of her car. And she has like a pop-up sign in papyrus font.
Yeah, it's like, if you put this in your vagina, it'll cleanse your spirit.
That's right. Yeah. All the bad spirits out of your coochie will go away.
Yeah.
It'll get rid of your herpes.
Nothing gets rid of your herpes.
It does not.
We discussed that on what was it, on
one of the episodes, I remember. Some
Haunted Mask.
Herpes
Haunted
talk.
Mask. Top scares.
That's right. Yeah.
So let's dive in.
Mm-hmm.
So this is Be Careful What You Wish For, October of 1993.
Oh, baby.
Interesting, because I thought you're writing Haunted Mask, you're doing a book a month. Well, I guess it makes more sense for Haunted Mask to come out in September, so it's circulated better for Halloween.
Right, yeah. Right, yeah, you get it in time for...
Because this may have just missed the boat.
Yeah.
So...
what were you for Halloween when you were... What? You were 5? I was 6, I think.
I was 5. What grade are you in when you're 5? That's all.
Kindergarten? First grade?
Kindergarten. I know first grade I was Wolverine.
That's badass.
And it came with like the chest piece that was like muscles.
Oh, cool.
And I remember, I want to apologize to my cousin Nick because he was the Blue Ranger. And we were like pretend fighting. He was his favorite. And they had like, it was like that plastic vacuum form mask. Yeah. It had the slits for the eyes.
Yeah.
Put my mask, my claws through the slits and poked them in the eye.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That was a cool crossover, a fight.
But let me tell you, that's what Wolverine would have done.
Yeah.
I was just in character.
That's right. You're really embodying Wolverine.
I was so Wolverine.
Yeah.
What about you? What were you?
I don't remember. I have no good answer.
Thanks for asking.
I'm just curious about your life. But to be fair, I don't remember anything anytime.
I may have been... No, that was too early. I was Rocketeer one year. when that movie came out.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
My mom made us Rocketeer costumes.
That's cool. That's like very Haunted Mask.
It was cool.
Your mom, very sweet.
And what she did is for the jetpack, she just got 2 like 3-liter bottles of soda, like 2 of them, and then just strapped them together and made
cool.
like a backpack and spray painted them gold.
That works.
It was cool.
Yeah,
it was very cool.
Yeah, very DIY.
Yeah.
Maybe I was a Ninja Turtle. I was at some point.
Oh yeah, me too. I had to have been a Ninja Turtle once or twice.
Yeah. I don't know. Who cares?
All right, so October of 1993. The cover that you see, which we guess is Sam.
Yeah.
And you see hands of a crystal lady over a cracked orb.
Yes.
Like what is that? What do they call those things?
It's a crystal ball.
Crystal ball.
It is. Yeah, it does have a crack in it for some reason, which is never discussed in the book.
Well, there's no crystal ball in the book. She has like a magic orb, but it's never like a fortune teller atmosphere.
No, but it's a glowing orb, which is basically what's here. And the tagline is "It might come true," which I don't know. It says. I mean, I guess the title is "Be careful what you wish for." ... But then "It might come true" is above that, so it's incongruous. And then on the back it says "Make a wish." I feel like on the front it should say "Make a wish," and on the back it should say "It might come true."
And then John Cena comes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And you're like, I loved you in Blockers.
Okay. Straight up, not a bad movie.
It's not a bad movie. It's fun.
It's like super bad for like parents.
Yeah, right. It's better than any like Judd Apatow movie now.
Yeah.
I'm tired of him, right?
Yeah.
Aren't we all over him as a society? It's like, we get what you're doing.
Yeah, fuck off, dude.
Fuck off, dude.
So the cover that you have, the reason I'm bringing this up is because that is one of the 2 covers not done by Tim Jacobus.
What?
Yeah, that is Stanislaw Fernandez.
All right.
Which, like, the most like Russian, Polish like name for a Fernandez to end.
Right. Interesting.
Very interesting. So that was 1993. And then our boy, Tim Jacobus, came back in 2005.
To do that one?
To do this cover.
Wow.
For the reprint.
Is wild.
And this cover, which I love, it's the creepiest cover.
Yeah, because that's her. That's the lady.
It's the crystal lady. She is standing in the rain, holding a glowing orb and just staring you in the eye.
This is from the book. And her age, she's sort of ageless. She's like old, but maybe could just be like Amy Adams when she's tired.
Yeah. And with bad eye makeup.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's and there's like an aura coming off of her, like steam in the rain. Really good cover. Definitely Google it. This is, like I said, this is one of the 2 covers he didn't do. The other one was Stay Out of the Basement. Yeah. But again, when they did these reprints, they gave him a shot, and he has one where it's like a scientist in a basement, but instead of a head, it's like a plant.
Right.
Not great.
Not great.
The first one is way better, but on this one, our boy knocks it out of the park. Way better than the original.
This one has the protagonist Sam in the cover, and she's making this face like she's sniffing a bad fart.
Well, whatever you wish for.
Yeah, that was probably her first wish.
So the song is still "Dream Lover" by Mariah Carey.
Cool,
which you may remember from 2 episodes again.
Yeah, I would do the high pitched noise, but I know your landlord would definitely hear me.
That's fine. She's cool with it. My landlord rules, by the way. That's fine. Rent just went up, but the movie was Demolition Man.
Cool.
That movie rules.
That's Sly Stallone.
Sly Stallone and Wesley Snipes.
Cool. Yeah.
That's one of Justin's. I think it's one of Justin's favorite action movies of all time.
That's great.
One of my best friends of the pod.
Yeah.
I just remember at the end how they like it's all about like cryogenically frozen Sylvester Stallone and Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, it's like embarrassing now.
Somehow they're from the future or the past, or it doesn't matter.
It's like everybody's jumping on that James Cameron Terminator train.
Yeah, and then they freeze at the end. He like freezes Sylvester Stallone and like breaks him to pieces.
Yeah.
No, Wesley Snipes. Sylvester Stallone freezes Wesley Snipes and breaks him.
The exact thing that happens in Terminator 2.
All right, so here's my current events. On October 6th, Michael Jordan retires.
Oh.
Which may have just been a stunt for Space Jam.
Yeah. Well, Space Jam was 96?
Yeah. But he retired then he went and played baseball. Then he came out of retirement. Then
Didn't he like play golf too or something?
I think he always played golf.
Okay.
Also, like, thank God for him, the internet didn't exist in the way it did with like Twitter, because apparently like he was crazy. Like even recently he'd be like, oh man, did I gamble? Like, did I drink? He's like, I was crazy, because he was the dude in the 90s,
and everyone was telling him he's the best because he was amazing.
Yeah,
and he was, you know, like, multi-millionaire.
There's a famous photo which you'll probably won't see too much anymore of just Michael Jordan and Michael Jackson hanging out with Macaulay Culkin.
Insane.
Like a Sears family photo.
Wild.
Like the 90s. Crazy time.
The 90s in a photo. That's what that is. Mm-hmm. What a weird crossing of worlds.
It's at the point where, like, whatever happened to you, like, you go to work and just discuss what happened on Seinfeld. Like, it was a weird, weird world. On October 8th, Angus T. Jones is born.
Shit. Who is he?
If you know who this is, I'm going to be upset with you.
I know the name.
Angus T. Jones?
Yeah.
You may know him better as that kid from 2.5 Men.
I did know that in the back of my head.
Why?
I don't know. I'm a sitcom enthusiast.
Okay.
No, I don't know.
And then equally as important, on October 15th, Nelson Mandela gets the Nobel Peace Prize.
Aw.
Way to go, Nelson.
Good job, buddy.
And then on October 31st, Tupac is charged with aggravated assault.
Oh.
Starting off a dope world of crime.
See no changes.
Yeah. That's what happens when you're an artist and you surround yourself with criminals.
Yeah.
He was just an artist, man. And he put himself into this atmosphere and everybody wanted him to live up to who he was.
Yeah.
Real sad.
That was a very like a Fox News soundbite. It was like, rapper surrounds himself with criminals.
Well, I highly recommend it. If you guys don't listen to the last podcast on the left, they have a few episodes about Biggie and Tupac and about like who really killed them, because they found out who killed them. Like, it's known.
Who killed them?
They're just like random guys.
Okay.
But like they also are dead from other gang related things.
Yeah.
But like actually 9/11 happened and the FBI, they were actually going to figure out all like the crazy stuff going on, like the 90s like rap scene and all the murders. But then when 9/11 happened, they pulled everybody off all those cases. So many people that were like about to get caught or so important, they had to pull so many resources from the FBI that some people like were out a little bit longer than they should have been.
Shit.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Out of control. Yeah, but they talk about that. Really, really cool.
Yeah.
And it's about how they just got themselves in over their heads. But anyway, we haven't even talked about this book yet.
I mean, that's fine.
I mean, the only stuff I have about this book is that there's a lot of pop culture references. Orlando Magic, Reeboks, Doc Martens, weirdly enough.
Yes, I thought that was cool.
Parcheesi, and I wanted to say, just because producer Chib, 17 magazine.
That's right, yeah.
Producer Chib was featured in 17 magazine.
Yes, as a young lady.
Yes.
She was in 17 twice.
Yes.
So, way to go. We get it. Way to brag. Yeah. All right? Chib. You know what? Divorce.
Yeah, I think you're better than me.
Yeah.
All right. So this book's about a klutz.
Yeah, Sam Bird, BYRD. And she's like spilling shit all the time and tripping over her own gine. She's not having a good time. It's a rough time in middle school for this book and Haunted Mask. We have a row of like bullying and insecurity. And...
Very familiar. Yeah, it's the same idea.
Yeah.
It's somebody who's in middle school and it sucks because middle school is fucking awful.
Yeah.
Except puberty hit this girl like a ton of bricks. And
yeah, she's
like,
tall and lanky.
Yeah,
and...
she's something like 9 feet tall.
Yeah. And she weighs 65 pounds.
She's so tall, she has like 2 knees on every leg. She's the Cloverfield monster.
She's the praying mantis from Shocker on Shock Street.
Mm-hmm. Can confirm.
So she's ripe for the picking. She's not comfortable in her own body. And there's a bully, Judith, who really has it out for her. Yeah. She always says, "Why don't you fly away, bird?" That's like all she says through the whole book. The line doesn't change. That's how she gets on her.
And she calls her Stork because she's so tall.
Yeah. Which, is that a name from Say Cheese and Die? One of them Stork? Or one of them was just Bird?
One was Bird. With an I.
I'm going to retcon that. It was Stork. That's canon now.
All right. We'll have to go back.
All right. I'll change it.
We'll get some
everyone's
Sharpies.
copy. Yeah.
Yeah, so she's just at school. She's clumsy. She's part of the basketball team just because the basketball coach is like, you're tall, so you're on the team.
Right, yeah. You're closer to the net. But she is bad.
She's very bad.
Yeah, which is fine.
Like, she bulk and skulls everywhere she goes.
Yeah, she's like crashing into the bleachers and stuff. And she like doesn't even, she like starts to run and she's like, whoa!
Yeah.
And she crashes into the bleachers.
She gets like her foot stuck in a bucket that's randomly on the basketball
Her other foot
court.
crashes through the floor.
Then she falls through a wedding cake and misses the shot.
Yeah. Always banana peels. She's,
Yeah.
Yes, she's struggling.
Judith just shits on her. So like Judith insults her during class, trips her during class. At basketball practice, she starts insulting her.
Fucks up her Doc Martens.
Yeah, she pours pudding during health class, or no, like what is it, the home ec class?
Home ec, yeah. In a weird school where they call their teachers by their first name. It's like a cult school.
But it's dumb to do, like, I wrote this in my bad writing. R.L. Stine, I get it. He's trying to add a little bit of detail and really build a world for the school. But it makes it so confusing having these adult characters that don't really matter with random names. And you're like, who is this again?
Right. Is that a friend of Sam's? It is confusing.
When, like, Ellen is the coach.
Yeah. And we're supposed to remember. Like, when we go back to that scene, like, 40 pages later, and we're back on the court, it's like, oh, Ellen? I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't even write. Daphne, the art teacher.
Yes. So there's Daphne. Sometimes Sam, I want to talk about this later, that Sam is actually, even though she seems like a victim, she's actually not nice. And this is one of the first instances we see, because Daphne is a bit overweight.
Yeah. And
she says, like, all the kids make fun of Daphne because she's overweight, and she probably eats, they say she probably eats secret pastries after class. And she was like, that's mean, but it's also probably true. I was like, what a weird detail to pepper in, you fucking
yeah, they're like,
asshole.
we bake a cake after, like, art class. And
she probably devours them, puts them in her fat
or
gullet.
like, oh my, yeah. It's so
Jesus.
shitty. My favorite teacher is Ellen.
Yeah.
Who is the basketball coach, who literally tells the kids, like, she was like not athletic, not good at basketball, and she's like, I teach basketball because they pay me to do it. Like, she's got like a few more payments on her Toyota Corolla, and that's why she is the basketball coach.
She's like, I'm here, but barely.
And she's like, you're tall, you're on the team. I'm not good. Yeah, I figured that out. I don't give a shit.
It's like Hannibal Buress in Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yes, exactly.
Playing the Captain America video. It's like, I think this guy's a war criminal now, but I have to play it.
But so at basketball, Judith calls her Stork. And then she's like diving for the ball. When you're not good at a sport, you don't try, but she tries and ends up getting kneed in the chest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, gets the wind knocked out of her.
But very dramatic.
She's very dramatic about it. Oh, yeah, she like passes out.
And she's like, I am going to die.
Yes, very dramatic.
She's the most dramatic.
Also, I found that moment, though, I mean, not that exactly, but I find that relatable when you're like in your own head and some like perceived trauma happens to you. Like whenever I get a stomach flu, I'm certain I'm going to die. Like any kind of like nausea, any stomach ailment, I feel like I'm dying.
Yeah.
So like I kind of understand, and she's 12, so like whatever. But it is super dramatic. And then Judith like carries her to the locker room. Is that true? She like supports her into the locker room at some point because she's like knocked out.
Oh yeah. She like helps her out, but then it's just like insulting her the whole time.
Yeah. So then they have a blow up because Bird thinks that Judith did it on purpose.
Yeah.
So
and then they get into a fight, and it ends basketball practice early for her.
Yeah.
She hops on her bike. She doesn't want to go home. She just goes for a cruise.
Yeah. And then she ends up like biking through the woods or some shit like that.
Yeah. And that's where she meets Clarissa.
Right.
Who explains something.
We have to say it. Yeah, that's what I thought. A missed opportunity, I guess, to not call her Sabrina.
Yeah.
But then again, did we have a Sabrina in Monster Blood?
Yes.
Okay. So we covered that territory.
Yeah. And Sabrina, the Teenage Witch, the 90s show hadn't happened yet.
Right.
But it had been an Archie character forever.
Yeah.
So
So this woman is like, she's like in a fugue state. She doesn't like know where she is, and like wants help getting to Madison, wherever that is.
It's a road. She's like, oh, it's like 5 blocks away.
Yeah. So this woman, the crystal woman, is like, oh, can you help me? Just show me where it is. Will you walk with me? She's like, I guess.
And that's when the rain starts.
Yeah. So it starts pouring rain. And eventually, whatever, they get where they're going. Sam's weirded out. Sure. Because there's a good description of the woman. I'm going to read it, actually. Mm-hmm. It's on page 31. She wasn't young and she wasn't old. She had dark eyes like 2 black coals on a pale white face. Her thick black hair flowed loosely behind her. Her clothing was sort of old-fashioned. She had a bright red, heavy woolen shawl pulled around her shoulders. She wore a long black skirt down to her ankles. Her dark eyes seemed to light up as she met me. So she described sort of strangely, but she's also like a little bit ageless there.
I love that.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like, at one point he says that she could be anywhere from 20 to 60.
Right.
And I'm like, again, just keep doing what you're doing. You don't have to hit the nail on the head.
He always doubles down. Yeah, there's like good description, then it's like he has to put that exclamation point at the end. Yeah, it's for kids. So. But then later on page 31, it says she suddenly looked very old, ancient. Her skin was so pale and tight, I thought I could see her skull underneath, which I thought was a really cool description. And this is when they get to Madison, and this woman is suddenly like, I
have to repay you.
I have to repay you for this kindness that you've showed me. So she pulls out this crystal ball and she says, make a wish. I'm going to give you 3 wishes, actually.
And you're like, I want John Cena to come to my school.
First, John Cena to come to my school. I want free Nintendo for myself and all my friends.
And I want to be the person that does the Toys R Us shopper run.
Yeah. Figure it out, crystal lady. Make it happen. Let's see those balls glow.
And she's like, I really like you. And this is the different side of all of these other ones where it's like you get this cursed item and it's just like your own hubris will destroy you.
Yeah.
But this one's just like, hey, I like you. Let me give you some wishes.
Right. She truly happened upon a genie, and the genie was like, you freed me. I'm going to give you 3 wishes.
Yeah.
But, the quote unquote moral of this book is literally the title. It's like, if you try to change shit, it's not going to go your way if you do it sort of inorganically. Yeah. But it's also like, the trope from everything. Like you fuck with magic or you fuck with this and that. There's an equilibrium and everything has to be balanced. So if some good shit happens to you, there's also going to be some bad that happens to somebody else.
Which, and also a lot of the times it's like, not like be careful what you wish for or like, ooh, I'm going to get you. This one's just like, she just sucks at wishes.
Yeah, she does suck at wishes.
She's just a shitty genie.
It's like, don't you know, especially by like the 3rd one, it's like, don't you know that whatever you say, it's going to be like some fucked up, horrible version of what you're doing?
Yeah.
And yet you still like just shout things out. No thought. She says she thinks about it. And then this like fucking stupid wish comes out.
But some of them aren't even clever. The first one was clever. Then they get stupid.
Yeah.
Like, imagine wishing for a new car.
Right.
And then the next day you wake up and it's like, sorry, all dogs are now cars. And your dog is a car.
Yeah,
and
or
people have been crushed in their sleep by dog cars.
Yeah, it's like a car. Like you find out too late that it doesn't have any brakes, or like there's no engine. It's like a beehive.
Yeah,
and then they come through the vents and they kill you. But she doesn't process this information. The first wish that she makes is at first she's reticent. Is that the right word?
Sure.
She's reticent.
You're the professor.
I don't know. I just say things, and they work 60% of the time. And to make the first wish, but then she says, I want to be the most powerful player on the basketball team.
Yeah.
Which is weird. Like, why wouldn't you just say, like, I want to be good at basketball?
Yeah.
But she wants to be the most powerful player on the basketball team. And as a result, all her friends get sick. Like they get all weak until they almost die.
Everybody gets HIV.
Yes. They do.
Everyone's immune system
they're immunocompromised, all of them. It's really, they're just like sluggish and lethargic on the court. And this is also why Sam sucks, because for each wish that she has, she always goes back to blaming Judith.
Yeah.
For what she's doing to Judith and everybody else. She always says this is all Judith's fault. Judith's fault. She's mad. Judith is like onto her somehow for some reason at a certain point and says like, "You're a witch, you cast the spell."
Well, I wrote about that. We'll get to that later, which is so funny.
It's wild.
Because she's just like, we learned about witches in social studies,
Yeah.
and you are one. And
Well,
I'm like,
yeah.
they don't teach you, like, this is how you know who's a witch. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like, isn't this messed up that we murdered people for no reason?
Right. Yeah. It's more like hate crimes. But yeah, she's like, at first she says it in passing before she talks about social studies. She's like, like you did this somehow. And Sam gets really mad about that. She also says that it's literally, the quote is, "This is all Judith's fault," when later she makes her second wish and there's fallout from that. And on page 92, 93, she insists it's Judith's fault. And on page 108, when there's yet a fourth wish, or no, this is still the third wish, she's saying that Judith is making her look bad, like as a result of this, which we'll talk about. But everything's always somebody else's fault. She never shoulders any blame, and she fucks up constantly.
Being a bad character too, not a bad character like writing wise, but like being a bad person. When she's like she's the best person on the basketball team, while she's like, smashing her face through tables and just like wearing roller skates by accident, and she's loving it. Yeah, she's just like, look at all these other idiots. Yeah, she also is really mean to her mom. Yeah, but I think there's something wrong with her whole family, because they eat dinner. And she shits on her mom when she says, Mom gets home from work late and doesn't have time to make any real food. Yeah. She complains about the potatoes and all that. But then I was reading, do you know what they ate that time? They ate string beans, potatoes, and meatballs.
It's wild. I mean, I assume that's a working fam. So they just, whatever they got, they make.
And then there's later... She's eating a peanut butter sandwich. She's done that a few times. Then she washes it down with orange juice.
She's a
what
monster.
Kind of monster are you? Yeah. That's why I was thinking at the end it would be like, well, wishes always come true for aliens, which we are. Like, I was waiting for that, but it never came.
She should wish for a coffin so we can put her in the ground.
So after she gives all of her class this like immune deficiency, and they can't like raise their arms, like they're so sick that stunning. They can't get out of bed, and they're getting worse every day.
Yeah, they have like lupus.
She shows up to school. It's so funny because there's this great cliffhanger where she's like, I know, like I'm so nervous, what if I like killed them? Like, what if they're just gonna keep getting worse until they're dead? Yeah. And she's like, I am a murderer. Yeah. And I am freaking out. So she goes to the school nurse and she says, Judith Bellwood and Anna Frost. I repeated, my heart pounding. Why aren't they in school today? I saw surprise in Audrey's pale gray eyes. Audrey is the nurse.
Of course, buddies.
Then she lowered her gaze. Judith and Anna, they're gone, she said sadly. Yeah. End of chapter. Yeah. And I was like, damn. Then, chapter 13, I stared at her. My mouth dropped open in horror. They're gone? They're gone for at least a week, Audrey said. She bent to lock the office door. Right. Yeah. So they're so sick, they think they have like mono or something. Yeah. They're getting weaker and weaker by the day. So right. Yeah. Yeah, so crazy part. She goes looking for Clarissa. And she goes to the woods, she rides around, and she can't find her. Yeah.
And then she finally goes to Judith's house. She's racked with guilt. She's really monitoring like Judith's status at all times. So she goes to Judith's house at one point, and this is where Judith kind of lashes out and says, we learned about Salem and social studies, and I know that you're a witch. And so Judith has to leave with her, tail between her legs. Yeah. And on the side of Judith's house, out comes Clarissa and says, like, aren't you happy with your wish? And Sam's like, no.
And she's like, oh no, I just wanted
you to be happy.
I just wanted you to be happy. Yeah. A funny thing that happens too is before this, she wants to go and write the plot, but her mom's like, you got an orthodontist appointment.
Yeah, that's right.
And she's like, oh man, now I'm so nervous and I'll have to go tomorrow. Yeah. And then it just It doesn't need to be there, but whatever.
No, yeah, it's an unimportant detail.
She says, second wish. Well, there was a secret second wish. She was playing her brother, and after she had the first wish and realized she didn't get better. And she said, I wish you were 1 foot tall.
Yeah.
But he's not there, so it doesn't count.
Yeah. You mean Crystal Lady's not there.
Oh my God. Could you bleep that out?
I will.
I feel so bad.
I will. I called her Wish Lady in my notes.
Wish Lady. It sounds like a Macaulay Culkin movie from the 90s. Wish Lady.
Wish Lady and Milk Money. Remember that?
No.
It was like a boob movie. Wait, I'm gonna look it up.
All right.
It's not a boob movie, but it did have boobs on the cover.
So second wish, she just wishes Judith would disappear.
Yeah, right. And then she calls Judith's house because she blurts this out and she regrets it immediately, right?
Yeah.
She has some remorse.
But like Crystal Woman is immediately just like, all right, you cool, see ya. And then by the time she looks up to be like, no, she's gone.
Milk Money is a 1994 American romantic comedy with Melanie Griffith and Ed Harris. The film is about 3 suburban 11-year-old boys who find themselves behind in, quote, the battle of the sexes, believing they would regain the upper hand if they could just see a real live naked lady. August 31st, 1994.
Wow.
Budget, $20 million. Box office, $18 million. Guess
sorry guys.
A movie about boys wanting to see a naked lady wouldn't be profitable. Who would have thought? This is very problematic. Anyway.
So she calls and she's like, is that you? You're a witch.
Yeah.
Wakes up the next morning. She slept in.
Yeah.
It's very quiet.
And surprise, you committed genocide.
Everybody in the world has disappeared.
Everyone's gone. Yeah, like of course. Like we knew that was going to happen, right?
Yeah.
Like everyone's gone, you're all alone. Not even your dog is there anymore. Yeah, she's all alone. So she has to find the lady again. And it's ominous, like the description, but Stein carries it for way too long. Like you know what's happening as soon as her house is empty, but she's like, I also went to the store and the store wasn't there. Yeah. And then I also went to the school and the school was empty and it was dark and math was still on the board from yesterday. Also,
I went to my locker. Books didn't disappear, thank God. Like,
yeah. At one point she's like, how am I going to take care of myself? I'm only 12. And she's like, what am I supposed to do? Just take food? Like it's this capital offense. It's like, yeah. Take the food, fucking idiot.
No one else is eating it.
Yeah.
Because you killed everybody.
Yeah. It's like you're going to question like the morality of like quote unquote stealing when you fucking you made everyone die.
Yeah. So instead of having a Home Alone victory where you like dance around your house, she just goes home and she's like, well, better start surviving. I'm going to use half as much peanut butter on this sandwich.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is what she actually does.
Yeah, she just drinks peanut butter.
She's like, good. Now I can survive off 2 peanut butter sandwiches. And then she drinks her orange juice like a fucking monster. And she hears something in the living room.
Guess what? Clarissa. She's like, I heard your chewing of your peanut butter sandwich. Yeah. I heard you swimming in orange juice.
Cool, your dad has a VCR. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. And every time she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'll undo the last wish.
Yeah.
She always agrees to undo it.
Right.
And this time she's like, this is my last wish. Last chance. Mm-hmm. Can't fuck this up.
Yeah. So Clarissa's actually like, think about what you want to say. And she was like, oh, she's right. I should really think about what to say this time. And she says, I want everything to go back to normal, but addendum, I also want Judith to think I'm the greatest person in the world. And like, this is the issue we're talking about. Like, why wouldn't you just say like, I want Judith to like me? Or like, I wish that like she didn't hate me, you know? Of course, that could result in her like dying or something.
But like, it's not even... It's not even like a pun or like syntax or something or anything crazy. It's not like let's bastardize this whole plot. If it was like a thing where like, I wish I was the hottest. Yeah. And like, then you burst into flames. Like that would be like, oh, I get it. But like, I wish Judith would disappear. And it's like, oh, did you mean kill everyone?
Right. Yeah.
You're like, no.
They're broad strokes.
Or like, what if Judith was invisible, but still like came and found her? That's what I thought was going to happen. Like,
right.
That would be a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be better. These are all good notes.
Yeah.
But this is it, and she wishes that Judith thinks she's the greatest person in the world, and that's exactly what fucking happens. And we've seen this before. My go-to is always Buffy. There's an episode where Xander wishes that he could be like loved by, or no, there's like a love spell or something that happens, and it turns into this where every girl admires him so much that they end up as like a mob and like killing each other and almost him. Like it's like a whole thing. And Buffy's mom tries to sleep with him. Also problematic, that episode. The 90s were a wild time where nobody thought about any repercussions.
But it was like a gradient of disaster where like it was a little more opaque than the 80s, which were just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, we're truly appalling. Every decade we go back is worse. There's like moments of clarity in the 60s, but they're still terrible.
You remember Attack of the Nerds? Or Revenge of the Nerds? When that one guy rapes that girl?
Oh, Jesus. No, I don't know that I saw those
He
movies.
like dresses up as fake Darth Vader at like a pep rally because that's what her boyfriend is like. And then like meets her in like the bounce castle and like has sex with her.
What the fuck?
Dressed up as Darth Vader. And she tries to like take his helmet off and he's like, no.
Christ. And were those comedies?
Oh yeah, hilarious, right?
Yeah, and I misspoke before. It wasn't even about thinking about repercussions. It's just that like nobody considered any sort of like more like how should I act and like treat others. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, now all the people that made it big in the 80s are going to jail. Anyway.
Going to jail or dying.
Yeah.
Which is how it should be.
Both are fine. So instead of her being like, she goes up to school and she's like, I think you're neat.
Yeah, copies everything she does. Basically, that's it, right? Copies everything she does. What she wears, how she acts, what she does on the basketball court.
Demands to eat her shitty lunch from her mom who doesn't have enough time and tries so hard but gets shit on.
Yeah, and it's like SpaghettiOs mixed in with like mayonnaise.
But while this was the dumbest wish and the dumbest side effect, she's like, I'm so annoyed because she's cramping my style.
Yeah, this is what I mean. Her reactions are insane. It's like, you fucking wished for this. You got exactly what you asked for, actually, this time.
And then another reason, I actually didn't even think that Sam was shitty until like we started talking. That night, she was like, "Can we please like study?"
Yeah.
Like, oh, thank God I have to go to my aunt's who's really sick.
Yeah.
I didn't even cheer her up because I was so annoyed that I just ignored her.
So self-absorbed.
So like going to the hospital and just like playing Game Boy. Like,
yeah, right, exactly.
Shitty.
Just to get away from Judith.
But it gave us the second best scene of, I think the second best scene of this book.
Oh, do tell.
So, page 113.
Mm-hmm.
She's just like, you know what? Fuck Judith. I'm going to bed though, and blah, blah, blah. So I was drifting off to sleep when I heard the floorboards creak. Opening my eyes, I saw a black shadow move against the darkness of my closet.
Yeah.
And I thought this is going to be the Crystal Woman who comes to be like, let's redo your wish.
Yep.
It's like I uttered a choked cry as I realized that someone was in my room. Before I could move, a hot, dry hand grabbed me by the arm.
Yeah.
And then she tried to scream, but the hand slid over my mouth. And it was Judith.
Yeah.
And this is a great quote. She says, your back door was unlocked, she whispered. I hid in the closet to wait for you. I guess I fell asleep for a little while. And when they were out at the aunt's house, she was sleeping in her closet.
Yeah. I guess I fell asleep for a while.
And like,
it's adorable.
Found her room.
Yeah.
She was like, did you pick out all these posters on your own?
Yeah.
I've been in your house. Like that's
yeah.
the scariest thing.
Yeah. She's a lunatic because fucking Sam made her into a lunatic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you did this. You brainwashed her.
And she sends her home.
Yes. Sends her home. He basically throws her out the door. And then Clarissa, she happens upon Clarissa one more time.
Well, the next morning she shows up at her door and she's like, I'm going to walk you to school. Let me hand your books. I'll run.
Yeah.
And there's a Terminator 2 chase. Because you were saying everybody wanted to be Terminator.
Yeah.
There's a very Terminator chase scene where she's running through like the woods and jumping fences.
Right. Yeah.
And she's, because Judith, I don't know if we said, she's like the star athlete of the school. Mm-hmm. She's chasing her and she's like, she can hear her feet like slamming the asphalt.
Yeah. It's just, which is frightening.
It's scary.
But she loses her.
And finds Clarissa.
Yeah. And she says, truly, again, I don't want you to be unhappy with your wish. So I can change this for you one final time.
One last wish. Wish for.
And what does she wish for?
She wants everything to be back to normal, so they're like, I'll undo it. But she wishes that she never met the Crystal Lady, but Judith did.
Yes. So this is the thing is like, yeah, she takes a beat after I wish I never met you, but I wish Judith did.
Yeah.
It's like she's always adding like the thing that gets her in trouble as an afterthought, and she just blurts it out. And this leads us to our ending because suddenly she's apart from Crystal Woman and Judith is with Crystal Woman. And she sees the orb, she sees it glowing, and she thought she heard Judith say, I wish you would fly away, bird, which is, of course, her, trademark phrase.
So she was like, things are back to normal. She's saying, fly away, bird, which she always shits on me.
Mm-hmm. But then she sees a little worm in the ground, and it looks really tasty. So she eats it. And then suddenly she peacocks her wings, and she flies up into the air.
She turns into a bird.
She turns into a fucking bird. That's it.
I thought if she met... First of all, like that means Judith was nice enough to help this lady.
Yes.
Because I thought she wouldn't help her because Judith's a bad person.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, maybe Judith is good. Then she gets her wish and she's like, I want to destroy this person.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too, is when Sam's a bird and she looks down, she sees Judith smiling.
Yeah.
That her wish came true. So, I mean, Judith is worse than Sam.
If there's a sequel to this, there's no way Judith doesn't bring the apocalypse.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. What's she going to do with her next two wishes?
I love this too, that like... The wishes come from a good place. Sam does something that I wouldn't have really done. I would have pointed in the right direction, given them directions, and then been on my way. Mm-hmm. She goes out of the way to be good.
Yeah.
And every one of her wishes just shit on her. Then the awful girl who could give a fuck about homeless ladies, or wherever, or like witches in the street, gets one wish and it's like fucking spot on.
Yeah. It's like the person I bully and hate, I want their life to be over.
Yeah. I want their bones to be hollow and for them their lifespan to be like a year.
Right. Yeah, I want to watch her lay an egg.
Yeah.
I don't know. The ending, the problem, I was texting you, Dave, about this before. The problem with these twist endings is just that there's no... First, sometimes they're predictable, but more often they're not. They're just like wild. But the problem is they're not developed. They're just thrown on because it's like, huh?
Yeah.
Like, huh, what do you think? But it's 4 sentences. Like that's over the course of 4 sentences is when we learn that she's now a bird.
Yeah.
Which is like an surreal.
How would you have ended this book?
How would I end this book? I think...
You can't change any of the things that happen. It's the final 4th wish.
I think I want everything to go back to normal is good. I think she should do that. And I don't know, some other repercussion or like everything does go back to normal. And then the moral can be like, I learned from this.
Yes.
And I go to school and I like tell Judith off.
Nobody learned anything.
Yeah.
And all the time, I wanted the lesson to be that there's no easy way for anything.
Yeah.
And that sometimes there's not a reward for being a good person. Sometimes you just have to do it for the sake of doing it.
And you have to be a genuinely good person. Like you have to find yourself because Sam is good in that she does this for this woman, but more because she's like caught off guard. Yeah. And she probably doesn't know how to extract herself from the scenario. Because when we see in true moments of peril, Sam is selfish.
Yeah.
So, you can be good, quote unquote, in the way that like Catholicism encourages you to be good as like an or else, or you can be good.
Yeah.
And I don't think Sam is actually good.
I would like the ending to be she wishes her 4th wish. I want everything to go back to the way it was. She's like, okay, well I gave you one extra wish. She's like, she should be like, I want another wish.
Yeah.
And be like, you helped me. I've tried to help you. You keep trying to find this. You want more. And she'd be like, yes, I want more. Mm-hmm. I wish I didn't need braces. Mm-hmm. And then I want her to wake up the next day with no teeth.
Okay, sure.
And it'd be like, there needs to be that conversation where it's like, I keep trying to give you things and there's no easy way. You keep wanting and wanting and wanting. It's like when you do one thing for someone and you hold it over their head forever.
Yeah. Right.
Like, yeah, you did the dishes once, but like, who cares?
Right.
So
Yeah, how much goodwill do you
Exactly.
get from each? Yeah, there's like
and when you're doing something for something in return, is it really that good to begin with?
yeah,
Or is it a job?
right.
So, what good writing you have?
Good stuff. I like the descriptions of the old lady, which I've read.
Same.
I think on page 11, I think it's pretty badass when she chokes. So Sam chokes, is like fed up and ends up choking Judith with her Doc Martens on. I think that's pretty punk rock.
Very punk rock.
Not that we encourage children choking each other, but she had enough, and I'm sure it was pretty innocuous. Page 20, I like the gloominess of the woman in the woods, which I read. Creepy that she says a bunch of weird shit, and she keeps grabbing her by the wrists, and her hands are icy cold. That's really it. I guess on page 97, I could turn to that description of the old lady when she's in Sam's house now. So her family's gone. She made everybody disappear. Beginning of chapter 22, it says the light from the living room window faded as clouds rolled over the sun. As the light dimmed, the old woman's face darkened. Deep black ruts formed beneath her eyes. Lines creased her forehead. She seemed to sag into the shadows. It's nice.
I like that.
It's pretty good.
I had that on here too. That was really good.
Yeah.
Any of the appearances of the old lady were very good.
Yeah.
Or the ageless one.
Yeah. I liked her. I liked that she drifted in and out. She did what she had to do. I don't know. That's basically what I have.
I thought this was, I liked page 12. I thought this was clumsy but fun. Where it just said, if I had 3 wishes, I told myself, I know what they would be. Destroy Judith, destroy Judith, destroy Judith. Little Judith, not Judas, but who knows. Little did I know I would soon get my wish. All 3 of them.
Yeah.
I hated that line, but all 3 of them I really liked. I was like, okay, that's fun kid stuff.
Yeah.
So that was cool. I liked the over dramatic knee to the stomach where it says, I dove for the ball at the same time. Somehow as I dove, my arms outstretched, Judith's knee came up hard and plunged like a knife into my chest. The pain shot through my entire body. I tried to cry out, but I couldn't make a sound. I uttered a weird, gasping noise, sort of like the honk of a sick seal, and realized I couldn't breathe. Everything turned red, bright, shimmery red, then black. I knew I was going to die.
It's good.
It's so over dramatized.
It's over the top. Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah. The
It doesn't
honk
matter.
of a sick seal.
Yeah. It's just... I love it because he adds that in not to be dramatic, but just as like, you're just fucking dumb. Like, this is dumb. This is stupid, even to the point where the metaphor is dumb or the simile's dumb. Like,
well, also this is first
cool.
person,
so
it's like she's infused in the narrative, which is good. She's being dramatic, so here it is. You know.
I like this detail of a 90s lunch. Every now and then we'll get background. We will set the scene in the cafeteria. I opened my chocolate milk carton, then pulled my chair in closer. Across the room, some boys were laughing loudly, tossing a pink-haired troll doll back and forth. It landed in someone's soup, and the table erupted in wild cheers. Yeah! Like, that brought me back.
Yeah.
That was really...
It's funny.
Did it need to be there? No. Did it make me feel like a middle school? In the 90s?
You can picture the tables with those long, like, hall style.
And the wheels that, like, fold up in the middle?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So I really liked that. It was fun. I said all of the Crystal Woman things were good. I don't know. You remember, I did... my thesis was in comedy writing. And a lot of the research I did was in timing. Mm-hmm. And... this is really good comedic timing. And we know that RLS started as Jovial Bob Stein.
Yeah.
And comedy is his deal.
Yeah.
So this is him putting a little comedic twist and having great timing. So he says, this is when she goes to tell her brother that she's in over her head that she met the Crystal Woman. So she says, I helped a strange woman a few days ago, I blurted out, and she granted me 3 wishes. I made a wish, and now all the girls on my basketball team are going to die. Ron dropped his paddle onto the table. They're playing ping pong. His mouth dropped open. What an amazing coincidence, he cried. Huh? I gaped at him. I met my fairy godmother yesterday, Ron exclaimed. She promised to make me the richest person in the world, and she's going to give me a solid gold Mercedes with a swimming pool in the back. He bursted out laughing. He just thinks he's such a riot. I just like the huh? And like the whole thing, and it goes through. And it's not a funny joke.
No, but the pacing of it.
But just like, what a coincidence, huh?
Yeah.
And then he's just like, shut up.
Then he digs into her.
Yeah. And it's just like, I really liked certain things like that where also a big part of it, I'm reading it out loud. I'm like, doesn't have the same effect as when you read it. Because like a lot of times, well, with this, it's the punctuation. Everything that she's saying is an exclamation point.
Yeah.
And he times it out where it's to the point where it's like, oh, everyone on my basketball team's going to die. And she's like, oh yeah, my fairy godmother's coming. But it's not. It's just Ron dropped his paddle onto the table. His mouth dropped open. What an amazing coincidence.
Yeah. He's hamming it up. He's
I
having
just
a good
love
time
that
with
like she says it and he just like, I see his face like, huh.
Yeah.
Puts it down, like
Let's
folds
talk
his
about
hands.
this.
He goes, let's discuss.
Yeah, right.
You are stupid. Like, and that scene played so well in my head.
Right.
And I'm like, what good.
We would do the same thing, except the line after Han would be like, does it suck to be an idiot? Like,
Yeah.
You know.
But it's just very good how they piece that together.
Yeah.
And that's how you write for that.
Yeah.
And that's all about it. It's because you need to put the pacing into their minds only using punctuation and line breaks.
Yeah.
Like the huh is a whole separate line, and then it comes back. I met my fairy godmother yesterday, Ron exclaimed.
Yeah, it gives us a beat.
He burst out laughing. He just thinks he's such a riot.
Yeah.
No one says riot, but whatever.
Yeah, they do in this book.
The Judith Knight scare was awesome. I already read that.
Yeah.
All right, that's all my good.
Cool. You got bad?
I sure do.
Cool.
You?
Yes.
You want to go first?
All right. While we're talking about Riot, page 34, I mean, it's probably the same, but in my memory, it's worse. No, it's the same. At the top of page 34, it says, well, you know, her mom, Sam's mom says, I was tall when I was 12, Mom said thoughtfully. She passed the potatoes to Dad. And then you shrunk, Ron exclaimed, snickering. My older brother thinks he's a riot. I just wrote riot, and then I wrote in all caps, hate it. Like, I fucking hate it. And it occurs a lot in this book. What I hate even more, the thing I hate the most about this book is the constant, I don't even know what to call them, but it's like the little did I knows that occur constantly. Like it's not foreshadowing, but it's like...
Well, the one I read in the beginning, I liked. Well, the one was like, I'll get all 3 wishes. But every chapter almost ends...
Almost
with
every
just like,
chapter.
Little did I know, I was in for quite the event.
Yeah, right. It happens on page 12. Page 36, was I in for a big surprise? Sucks. Page 43, I had no idea. Page 87, but I didn't know how weird ... like things would get.
Yeah.
And it happens mid-paragraph. Also happens on page 105. Just to flag that bullshit. And just things are phrased strangely sometimes in this book that you could just easily correct. Like on page 9, Sam wants to, quote, punch out her lights. You mean punch her lights out? Like just transpose those words. On page 19, she says, no way in 1 million years. Okay. You mean not in a million years?
There's another one I like too. On page 60, she can't focus on the text of the test. And it just says, I stared at the words as if they were in Martian.
Yes. Yes, that was the other thing I was going to bring up. Like, okay, cool, you're
say,
Martian.
Like, Russian.
Yeah.
Spanish.
Yeah. A language I could not read.
Yeah.
That's
hieroglyphics, anything.
Yeah, anything but Martian. And that's basically it. There's some over explanation that we talked about.
Of course. Another one like that. She talks like a grandma, like a New England grandma. But they'll be like, grab the Kleenex and we can go down to the dairy hole, like kind of stuff.
Play Parcheesi.
She's like, Ellen is a skinny teacher, like a kitchen match.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah.
A kitchen match?
Right. It is like a grandma. Like you learned all these weird colloquialisms throughout your life, and now you talk this way.
It's 1993. You don't have a kitchen match. Like it's not time to light the pilot.
Right.
I'm Sam. I play basketball.
I wish someone invented gas.
This one I wrote, I think I was drinking. I don't remember. It was this. I rushed this book and I read it in like 3 big chunks. And one
Yeah,
night
I did too.
we'd finished all the stuff and I had some drinks. So, let's see. I could hear Judith's little brother shouting something in the background, as I could hear cartoon music from their TV. Don't stay too long, she instructed. Hello? Judith answered in a faint little girl voice.
A faint little girl voice. Yeah,
just
to
thought it
show
was
she's
weird.
like weak, but it's stupid.
A little girl?
Yeah, little girl voice.
So this like girl talked in a little girl voice?
Right, this little girl has a little girl's voice.
Hello,
She's a 12-year-old
cried?
girl.
Like, I just didn't like that she's supposed to sound weak.
yeah.
And he's like, sound like a little girl. She's weak.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah, there shouldn't be an equivalency there.
Did you cast a spell? I thought that was really weak. In that she's like, I know all about witches. I have social studies.
Yeah.
And they told me what to look out for.
Yeah. First, casting spells.
I thought the orthodontist thing sucked.
It was unnecessary.
It was unnecessary. It was just to fill pages. Unless it went with me and she lost all of her teeth at the end. And
That's
says sometimes
true.
when you get greedy,
Yeah.
would have been good.
You have to gum your sandwiches now.
Trying to help it out. She's gonna have that. She can only eat that moist
That peanut
tuna
butter.
sandwich.
Yeah.
Yeah. Social study witches, page 72, and then I wrote that the food combos are terrible. Peanut butter
Yeah.
and orange juice, and then I just said the ending was very weak.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool. So, spook and scare. Do you have one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you?
No, but I'm gonna go with what I read of the old woman in her house. I think that
was really good.
up.
I was between Judith, coming into her house.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird, but the cover, my cover, Tim is my spook and scare.
Okay, I
Because
like
I
that.
told you when we first had the book, and I didn't realize I had a different cover than you.
Yeah.
That this is scarier to me than as an adult, this is scarier to me
Yeah.
than any other cover.
It looks like a photo.
It looks like a photo, but it's scary for the fact that this is a lady and it looks like she's looking up to you like a front porch
Right,
kind
yeah.
of thing. To the point where like, what is this old lady who there's just something off about her.
Yeah.
You can see she's looking with a kind of a smile, holding this glowing orb expectantly.
Right.
And the scariest part for me is the social interaction with somebody who might not all be there and won't go away.
Yeah.
And that anxiety on page 30 and 31 is what put me into the spook and scare zone. So it says, what if she won't let me go? What if I can't get rid of her? What if she follows me home? Again, I searched up and down the block. Most of the houses had lights on. I could probably run to the nearest one and get help if I needed, but I decided it might just be easier to play along with the crazy woman and make a wish. Maybe that would satisfy her and she'd go on her way and let me go home. She suddenly looked very old, ancient. Yeah. So it's just, this is an adult, an older lady. You're being nice, and she's just, you're like stuck.
Yeah.
What if you say, you're crazy, lady, get out of here? What if this crazy lady starts like choking you?
Yeah.
That's why I don't like being around kids sometimes, because I'm like, what if a kid just keeps like punching me or scratching me or biting me?
What are they gonna do?
Like, no, but like I can't like pick them up and throw them.
Right. Yeah.
There's some-
You just have to run away.
Or like old people. What if like an old person, like if you push an old person, they could just
Yeah.
fold into like a little pile.
Right. Yeah. They turn to dust.
Yeah.
They're brittle bones.
It's scary to me to be in those social, like when homeless people just walk up and they won't leave you alone.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's to the point like you can give them something or whatever, but sometimes they'll just follow you.
Well, you're always vulnerable. Obviously, this is not to impugn the homeless who need help.
They do.
But you're vulnerable because in those moments you're in urban areas and you, again, not to impugn urban areas because that happened because of institutional racism. But when you take out your wallet in the street, you're vulnerable.
Yes.
So if you're alone doing that, like
Yeah.
something can happen to you.
I gave a guy my change and whatever, like, I don't know, I had like $2 in change in my pocket. I gave it to him one night. I did a stand-up set and I was walking back and then he followed me. He just walked with me for a very long time.
And the other thing is these people don't have access to mental health care, so a lot of them do have
Yes.
mental health issues.
Yeah. And there's a reason that they're out there. It's not that they love it.
Yeah, right.
And I was just
exactly.
like, this guy can do anything. There's just that there's no predictability to the experience you're about to have.
No.
And it also leans into Master of None, great show. There's the great episode where it's Aziz Ansari and Eric Wareheim, who I love, Big Bud, Little Bud, walking home drunk through the city. And then it's their friend who's a female walking home from the city, but they film it in the same way John Carpenter filmed Halloween.
Right, yeah, to show the different experience
Yes.
of, right.
That experience is what scares me, and that's an experience every single woman has,
Yeah.
which is frightening.
Yeah, and every, I think there's a story we read when I taught that meant to try to explain, and I don't want to, obviously, you can never speak for someone else's experience, especially the Black experience, and that was what this article talked about. I wish I remembered the name of it, but it was, the author was describing their experience walking on the other side of the street as a white person, a white woman, whatever, and the way they clutch their bag a little tighter, and all of these sort of this body language that says like, I'm nervous because you are who you are, and you're just there.
That's scary.
Because you're with me on the street, I'm alone with you, and you happen to be, you're not white. You know,
that's awful.
So that is the thing, that we're speaking to. Everyone has a different experience.
So with that, who's your best dressed?
Dave, can I ask you a question about that book?
Yeah.
Because you're scared of the cover,
Yeah.
which is fair. When you pound off, do you have to turn it over so she doesn't look at you?
She's on the back too.
Do you have to put the book in the freezer?
What?
You're safe then.
I guess that's
Answer the question.
No, because I don't like my book to be cold.
Okay. So you let her watch.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Is this about best dressed?
Oh, yeah. No.
Usually we drink when we do this podcast. Just want to tell you that Matt just drove here and is having just water. That's a normal.
I'm stone cold sober, baby. 316. My best dressed is actually Sam, even though I don't like her. She has Doc Martens. I think that's cool.
Right.
I was surprised. That kind of stopped me in my tracks.
Yeah.
So page 11, she's wearing Doc Martens. They get all fucked up when Judith pours like oatmeal on them or whatever.
My favorite is Corey, who we didn't discuss whatsoever. Corey's like her cool male friend.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
He's just kind of like, yeah, you're dumb. I don't care. He's unimportant character, but he's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Corey is kind of cute, which I mean, I was just gonna end it there and be like, kind of cute. That looks great.
Great.
But he has dark brown eyes and that sort of crinkle up in the corners, a nose that's a little too long, and a funny crooked smile. He has great hair, and he never brushes it. So he never takes off his cap. It's an Orlando Magic's cap, even though he doesn't know or care about the team. He just likes the cap.
Oh, yeah. I wrote he's a poser.
Yeah. I also like this. Luckily, Corey appeared across the table. He dropped his lunch down on the table, turned the chair around backwards the way he always does, and sat
that's
down.
cool.
I was like, Uncle Jesse, yes.
Yeah. That's a detail I missed.
So I like that.
Yeah. That's a second John Stamos. Oh, no, that's not Uncle Jesse. Is it?
Is.
Okay. Oh, that's right. What's the other uncle's name?
Joey.
Joey. That's right.
Dave Coulier.
Yeah.
And I'm here to remind you. I'm a man. That song's about him.
Right. Yeah. They fucked.
Yeah, when she was like 13. Fucking awful.
Really?
She was like a child.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's
oh,
she
Dave
was
Coulier
she
is
was
a
like
bad
a
guy.
teenager. Or like maybe into later, but it was messed up. That's all you
Yikes.
need to know. So what's your alternate spook and scare?
My alternate title
Yeah. That's it.
would be Sam Bird. More like Sam Turd. Or be careful what you wish for. More like be careful, what a big bore. How about you?
Mine was just Shitty Genie.
That's way better.
Shitty Genie.
Shitty Genie.
I dream of Shitty Genie.
Yeah. Diarrhea spray.
Yeah. All right. So it's time for our favorite. I can't speak right.
It's our 5-star review.
5-star review. This is one that we recorded way back when, and it was one that I loved that I did.
Yeah,
and then it got
forget what we
fucked,
did.
and I don't remember what I said.
Me neither.
Did we have how much time do we have? Where are we at on there?
I don't know.
Nate.
Probably 90 minutes.
So let's figure it out. Yeah, we talked mostly about wrestling for
Yeah.
the whole beginning.
That was a long talk.
But you guys are fine. I mean,
Yeah.
you're not paying anything.
No, it was probably like an hour.
That's fine. So, RJ Drennan.
R.J. Drennan.
Classic RJ. So he said, lots of fun and nostalgia. This was a great listen. Matt and Dave are entertaining hosts and go into surprising depth about A Welcome to Dead House. Makes me want to read all the books again with them. Can't wait for the next episode.
Cool.
So he probably put that in for the first episode. So
Oh, thanks, RJ.
I hope you're still listening. I hope we haven't alienated you yet.
Fair if you are alienated.
Yeah.
Why are you listening to this?
Yeah.
But thank you.
So speaking of being alienated, can I start this one up?
Please.
RJ, your aunts and uncles never know what to get you for Christmas. They say, what do you like? And you go, I don't know. But they notice, in a way that R.L. Stine notices, that you wear band t-shirts.
Of course.
And they know, well, maybe I can just get them an FYE gift card.
Oh.
So you get some FYE gift cards. You get some Borders gift cards. This is in the 90s. So. Mm-hmm. Or Sam Goody. You get a Sam Goody.
Ooh, Goody
it's like
got
later 90s. And you're just thinking, and you're like, wow, I guess I alienated my family. But there's a new album out. Alien Ant Farm. Yeah, they do that Michael Jackson song.
Yeah.
That guy shaves the line right down the middle of his head. What a joker.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Cool dude.
So you bring it home after purchasing it with your gift cards. And you are just so excited. You want to pop this album on, have a meatball hot pocket, and just enjoy your day.
Nice.
Uh-oh. You got the little sleeve out. You're holding the sleeve. Because remember when they did some CDs that just had the paper ones?
Yeah.
So you put that instead on there, and you microwaved your Alien Ant Farm CD with your hot pocket.
Yikes.
All of a sudden, you see a flash. You look up into the sky, and you just see walls. You don't know what's going on. Just the sky. Did you fall on your back? No. It's like you're in a ball pit, but it's hard. And then you look back and forth around you. There's giant ants. You look down at your many arms. You're an ant. You look up in the sky. What's looking down at you? An alien. You got turned into an alien ant farm.
Holy shit.
And then you die of old age. But like ant old age.
Right.
Yeah.
Just like a couple weeks.
Yeah. Well, it depends how good the aliens are at their ant farm.
Right.
Do you feed ants in an ant farm, or do they just like take nutrients from the dirt?
I think you feed them.
All right. It's good. I don't know one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dum, dum, ba, ba, bum, bum, ba, ba, bum, bum, ba, ba, bum, bum.
Boo. So, RJ, he's dead, right? You're done?
Yeah, he died of old age.
Okay.
Took a while. We waited for time to take him.
As it comes for us all.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Time jizz.
I want to die at 69.
Ooh, sex number.
So, RJ, here's what happens. You die over the course of 2 days. The first day, you feel a little lethargic.
Mm-hmm.
You feel kind of like run down. You used to be really good on your basketball team, but now you feel like tired. It's almost like you have lupus. So you're like, what's going on here? And you turn to your buddy Fred, and you're like, Fred, I don't mean to sound presumptuous, but did you fucking cast a spell on me, dude? And he's like, yeah.
Fucking Fred.
You're right, I did. I cast a spell on you. And you're like, how? And he's like, well, I got a magic 8-ball. I took out the liquid inside of it, filled it with my own spit and tears. And then I went down to the market and I found a wish lady. And she put a finger in it and she stirred it and she said, abracadabra. And I just wished for you to like be sick. And he's like, what the what? Like, you know, RJ, I agree. It's wild, but you don't have the you know, energy to fight about this now. You have to go to bed. So you go home, you go to bed. You're really mad at Fred.
I mean, why not?
Fred is not nice.
So it's not Fred Savage, because I imagine he's a nice guy.
No, it's not Fred Savage, but he is a savage.
But is it Fred Durst?
It's Fred Durst.
I knew it.
To be fair, he's doing it all for the nookie. So
Lady Nookie.
that's right. So you're in bed. You're like, fucking Fred, when I get energy back, I'm going to really tell him what's what. Unfortunately, you wake up the next morning and you have no bones. So you try to step out of your bed, but there's no support. And you just like sink into the carpet. You're like a little bitty goopy goop. That's it, buddy. That's the end of the road for you. You die. You have no bones.
He's
you can't
drowning
live.
in your own puddle.
That's right. Yep.
Oh, man.
And then Fred comes and he scoops you up into a little jar.
And he goes, cheer! 1, 2, chocolate starfish.
Yeah. Keep rolling.
Get it on.
No, but what he does do is he puts you into the...
I think my cat just wants to enter the room.
And yet he's not entering.
He just pushed open the
pushed
door.
the door open.
Like, what's going on here? Nothing? All right. He just walked away.
That's it. You're dead. But
See ya,
you're
chainsaw.
inside the magic 8 ball. That's
All right,
that's
that's cool.
Yeah.
Neat.
Cool. Thanks, RJ. Thanks for the kind words.
If you would like to be murdered at the end of one of our podcasts, please go to iTunes, give us a 5-star review, leave some text there, or else we don't know who you is.
Right.
If your iTunes name is crazy, which I think all of them are, because I don't know what mine is, just write first name at the bottom so we can appropriately
give us
murder
any
you.
name, the nickname, whatever.
Yeah. Cool. Again, thanks to everybody who came to our live show. We have our bags left, so we have some book totes.
Right.
Featuring the art and our logo. Art from Len Danovich.
Yeah.
And who was there. Super nice to see him, as always. We have those. They're $15. We'll find a way to ship them out to you. And each one comes with a blind bagged Goosebumps book.
Yeah. Vintage Goosebumps book.
Yes. There's one that's not vintage, and I only put it in there. I don't know who got it, but it's a horror land, but it's about comic books, so I thought it was topical.
Okay, yeah.
So it was a fun one.
That's cool.
But other than that, all of them are originals.
Yeah.
And they're pretty dope.
And the bags are nice. Shout out to Cody for hooking us up with some nice merch. So if you want one, just reach out to us, basically. And we'll also end up putting them online at some point.
Of course. All right.
Cool. Boo Dudes to you. Enjoy your beginning of spring. Surely it has sprung unto us. And unto you, I say, and Dave says, Boo Dudes.
A boo dudes to you. I have sprung.
Bye.